And good morning to everyone. It is Thursday. Welcome. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as I bring you into Scotty Ray's weather. Yeah, I just really couldn't come up with a better name, could I? It's going to be all right. I hope your day is going well. I've had my 2-cup minimum to get my day started, and we're off to the races. There is patchy fog, as I mentioned on the thread there this morning. Now, low-lying areas are going to have a whole lot more. Here where I live, there's a pond not far from where I'm at, so it's a lot of fog creeping across my pasture. So if you've got that in areas that you travel to work to where there's low-lying areas, leave a little early. Mine's thick. I could hardly see over the barbed wire fence this morning in the back when I was out with my puppy dog. So just something to keep in mind there as you get your day started. Right now, not too bad. I believe it's about 63 degrees as we wait for a high of 89 later today. Great looking weekend. We'll tell you about our rain chances and how Memorial Day will turn out here in just a moment. Now, I was flipping through some things on Facebook a few minutes ago, and this is a fact. And I just saw this. Somebody posted this. And this is just a gentle reminder of what is out there and what lumber costs. If you haven't built anything, or if you haven't bought a 2x4 or anything lately, this board is a 2x12 by 16 foot long. And I had to buy probably, I'm going to say when I built my studio, 40, 50 of those when I built this room. And this is the price of them now. I want to say I paid $19 a piece for them or something like that when I built this. This is the cost of them now. Look at that, $87.57. Have you looked at lumber prices lately? Now, the last, was it 250% that lumber has climbed since the pandemic and all of this? And no, I cannot sit here and tell you why it has. People are still cutting their timber. They're going to the yards, and I don't understand it when it reaches the store that they've gone this high. Ridiculous. Americans cannot afford that. Not on what we make. Y'all know that as well as I do. So just keep that in the back of your head if you've got something to build. And the rumor is that those prices will go down in the fall. I don't know that for sure, but boy, that sure is stout, isn't it? Hi. Hey, I missed one of my all-time heroes' birthdays yesterday as I was going through things of celebrities that have birthdays. And I remember as a kid, I couldn't wait to watch this. It was just always good. And this guy had a birthday yesterday. James Arnaz, do y'all remember him? From Matt Dillon, Gunsmoke. That was one of my heroes. He had a birthday yesterday. He passed away back in 2011. Just always stood for the good things. That's what that show did. What ran from 1955 to 1975. And then, of course, we've had reruns ever since. Always a good moral to the story. If you ever get a chance to watch old rerun of Gunsmoke, I always like those. Made me feel good. Maybe it'll make you feel good as well. Let me say a few good mornings of people that are waking up, starting to stir. Good morning to Charlotte Johnson. How are you? Also, Terry Carter is up. Tommy Ainsworth is up. I hope you're taking care of some cows, Tommy. Get on it now. Terry Ray, good morning. Janice Bounds is up. Miss Sylvia Stewart. Flora Overstreet, good morning. Also, Sandy Cruz, morning to everybody. Lillian Glenn, how are you today? Good morning. And I want to say this is from Twitch. Olich, howdy. Good morning to you as well. Debbie Drake, good morning. Still in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, watching this morning. Have fun while you're there. Gatlinburg is just a beautiful town. This time of year, it's cool. The higher you get in the mountains, and so much to do and enjoy those streams. You just can't beat a vacation there, can you? Also, good morning to Miss April Rogers. It's been a while. Yeah, I saw you out at the Piggly Wiggly not long ago, April. Hope you're doing well there. Well, as we begin this day, let's turn to weather and talk a few things about weather right now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
First off, let's go to radar this morning and look at the severe weather threat across the nation. Now, let's pull up Mississippi, Alabama first here as we pull up the radar this morning. As you'll see, we've got no rain in the state of Mississippi. There are a few showers if you zoom in over here east of Mississippi near Tuscaloosa, southwest of Tuscaloosa. If you're going to be going down through here on McFarland Boulevard, Hagler, Alabama, getting some light showers. A little bit there on 82 in between Columbus and Tuscaloosa. Very, very light if you're going to be traveling that area this morning. As I mentioned, all this area here, and we'll show you from the National Weather Service in a moment where that light fog is. But all we have to go is a little bit due north through the upper part, the northeastern portion of Mississippi, and we get into these areas here, Walnut Creek, Mississippi. Now, there's a dense fog advisory there all the way through Jackson, Jackson, Tennessee. This is going to cut across Murfreesboro and Nashville. If you're going to be in that hectic traffic this morning, this cuts up through Hendersonville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Louisville, and even up here up to Cincinnati, up to Columbus, Ohio. I've driven through all of those areas, and boy, those interstates, they all serious about it up through there. But fog advisories to the north of Mississippi. So if you've got to be that way or heading back today, watch and be careful in these early morning hours. That's not going to burn off until 9 a.m. this morning is what the threat is on that. Now, as we go out here to the northwest of our area, as we get up here near Kansas City, is where all of the rain has happened. Topeka. Y'all remember that song years ago, Topeka, Kansas? Yeah, it's cutting up there this morning. Kansas City, a lot of rain there this morning. Severe thunderstorm warnings occurring there right now. As we look at this goes on up through Iowa, Sioux City, and up to Minnesota, light showers through that area there. Now, let's pull this back and pull up the severe weather that is threatening today, and we'll look at that. This is a level 3 of what we've got. As you'll notice here, our immediate area right here, no threat to us. Alabama might get some light showers through there. And we'll get a dusting possibly in areas north of here. But as we look at this, Oklahoma City is the big threat today. We've got Arkansas here up through Illinois as a 2 through Kansas City. But right here at Oklahoma City, these areas right here, if you'll look at this, Fayetteville, Springville, Joplin, and Luckenbach, Texas. Those areas are the worst that are expected today. So let's keep them in our thoughts as this weather moves across. Let's look at Friday and see what we've got offered in the threat of severe weather. And Meridian gets a 1 for tomorrow, is what the National Weather Service is expecting. This line should move down just a little bit here in the next little bit. Northern Mississippi catches that 1, and this is going to stretch all the way back here. This is where that area 2 is going to be out here near El Paso. It'll get to a level 1 all the way through Dallas and straight through Mississippi and up through Nashville and through Louisville. And then Washington, D.C. will also have that level 2 threat. Now let's move into Saturday and see where our severe weather threats are. And I think it's going to be quite well by then. Yeah, it'll all be just a slight chance of a shower on the coast. And then out here in the west near El Paso, New Mexico, these areas up to Denver, Colorado over the weekend on Friday. On Saturday, rather, I got my days mixed up there. On Saturday, we'll have a chance of a 1 of being severe weather. So we'll watch all of that and pay close attention as what the weather does over the next little bit. That's our look at radar this morning so far. So looking good for us, and we'll go deeper into the forecast here in just a moment and talk about how and what we're going to expect on Memorial Day and what the weather is going to be. Always, and I've brought this up several times, and not only do these good folks make storm shelters, they make picnic tables, anything that you may be looking for when it comes to concrete that is solid. Let's talk about our friends at the Precast Group, and they take care of you when it comes to, well, severe weather, of making sure that you're covered and that you've got a shelter. If you don't own a shelter, talk to them today. They're made here in Meridian. Good folks. They go to church with me down at Northcrest Baptist. Good folks, you'll like them. 482-0003 is the number to talk to them. They're located out on Highway 145 South. They can build you one, have it delivered, and set in your home. And I've said this before, if you're building a home, you can have it set in and have your home built around it. Now, if your house is already built, not to worry. You can still have one delivered just like this and set up right outside your home where you can walk to it quickly and get in. You can arrange it with all the different benches that you want to have. This is one that's set up behind a business, and this is the kind that's buried in the ground here. If you want it in the hillside, they do all this for you at the Precast Group. You pick, you choose, however you want to do it there. Here's a different angle of that same thing. They're great, and have that peace of mind when it comes to your home, when it comes to bad weather. The Precast Group, you can call them at 482-0003. A lot of folks these days, when you say double alt or triple alt, that's 3 zeros if you say triple alt. So I just thought I'd pass that along. All right, let's now turn to the National Weather Service and talk a little bit about what all they've got to say here. Let's see here. I missed some good mornings there. Debbie Drake, morning. Also, LaWanda Grantham, good morning. Great morning for a walk. It is. It's cool outside. You can't beat these kind of mornings there. Kind of refreshes you out there. Charlene Gaddy is up this morning. She's going to be heading off to see Chad Prather over in Forest tomorrow afternoon, rather. And also watching Love Your Show at 8 o'clock. Thanks a lot, Miss Charlotte Gray. Also, Nick Dial is up, better known as Cornbread. There's nothing like having a good Southern nickname, Cornbread's got one. Nick Dowell. Hope y'all know him. Jimmy Robinson is watching this morning from Mooney Springs. Be blessed, and we appreciate you watching there. All right, let's now look at our record highs and our record lows of what is happening today. As we go back to, 1953. Today was a hot day then. It was before the 56 Chevrolet or 57 rolled out, but it was hot, 97 degrees in 1953. Our low happened in 1961 on this date. It was 45 degrees, a record set then. We're so far from that, it's not even funny. But we do have a cooler snap that is coming, as we'll look at this in just a second. It won't be as hot for a couple days. Can you believe that? We got some rain on the way. As we step forward and we look at this is our area here that I mentioned of the dense fog area this morning. This is going to creep into just about up here to Sugar Lock and these areas here just south of Macon. It's going to cut across and not quite take in Noxapater and not quite make it to Louisville. As we take in all of Philadelphia and we move across here into Leake County, Scott County, all involved in this, down to Laurel and Hattiesburg and those areas. So dense fog. Plan that on your not on your vacation, but on your trip to work this morning. I get tongue-tied sometimes. I get ahead of myself. Sorry about that. But that's what we're expecting this morning. Now, this is the severe threat that is possible tomorrow. It'll dip down to just south of Quitman to about DeSoto will be the line tomorrow. And this will take in everything north of here and west of here. It will take in Jasper County. It won't quite make it to the Laurel area, but tomorrow severe storms are possible in the afternoon. As you noticed yesterday afternoon, we had, 20-30% chance come up, and eastern Lauderdale County got flooded on. I got several reports from the Kewanee area that it flooded in those areas, a lot of rain. And so we got some gardens wet yesterday afternoon with that little bitty isolated chance of rain there. So tomorrow, I expect a little bit of the same. As we move forward, this is what the National Weather Service tells us today. Slight chances of rain. High of 89 is what we're expecting. They're isolated. And that means they'll just kind of jump around. It won't be widespread. We'll watch it closely this afternoon. Should something turn severe, we'll let you know. But a high of 89 as we get up even to Louisville, it'll be 89 as well. Down to Hattiesburg, a little bit warmer, 90 degrees. Now let's step across the state line to our Bama friends that are watching this morning. As we look at Demopolis, also 90 degrees. We'll get up to about 89 there in Tuscaloosa. Cooler in Birmingham as they have an 87 degree. But York, Alabama, as we go through all these areas there at Livingston, y'all, all the way up through Geiger, Alabama, you're going to be right at that 89 degree mark, teetering on 90 degrees. So warm weather there and a chance of showers as well across there in that edge of Alabama. As we look at this, nothing happening on the National Hurricane Center as we get closer and closer to June 1st to the official kickoff of Hurricane Center. We've had just so many things going on. We went ahead and picked this up so that you'll be aware of what's happening with hurricanes and all. All right, now let's move and take a look at our, let's do this first, the temps over the next 10 days. As you'll see here, we're now starting to move into a little bit of a cooler area here in Mississippi and barely getting there to Alabama. Cooler back out here in Texas and normal in Georgia and Florida of the temperatures. Out to the Nevada areas, if you're going to be out there headed to Las Vegas for any reason, it's going to be warm. All right, now let's look at that 10-day forecast of what it has to bring and what the temperatures are going to hold over the next 7 days. As we look at this, now this afternoon, we've got a 20% chance of showers. This will not happen until after 1 o'clock this afternoon. This fog is going to burn off about 8:15 this morning. Your high will reach about 89 today. As tonight, we'll get down to about 70. Tomorrow rolls in with a 60% chance of showers. Now, this will happen late in the afternoon. Probably about 2 o'clock is when we'll start seeing the first round of showers move in to end that Friday afternoon. It's going to be gusty tomorrow, 20-mile-an-hour gust. So expect that. That'll be bringing in this rain. Friday night, we still got a 40% chance of rain after dark. We'll hit 64 for our low. Now look at our highs for Saturday and Sunday. This is that little cool snap that we just looked at on the map there. We'll get to 81 and 82, roughly about 8 degrees warmer, cooler than we have been seeing there. Slight chances of showers there on Saturday and Sunday, not much to it. And then we roll into Memorial Day. It looks like it's going to be a great day to get out and remember what that day is all about. Just a smidgen of a chance of rain there, 10%. I don't think it will affect any cookouts or anything like that. It looks like it'll be good weather. And then as we move on into there, expect that rain to be moving back in by Wednesday. As we go ahead and jump ahead, let's go to that next week. Let's go into June and see what what we've got. What is it, Saturday? It'll be the following, the first is not long off. Yeah, we're sitting at the 27th already. As we go all the way through June the 10th, our temperatures will start, let's see those 80s, 82s, will start warming back up around the 6th of June. I think that was an old Convoy song, wasn't it? It was the 6th of June? Yeah. And we'll warm up to back right at the 90-degree mark there, close to it, around the 10th of June. So temps are going to be warming back up before long. Enjoy this weekend when we have those 80, 81-degree temperatures. Afternoon showers, not too bad. We've got some good weather lined up for us. Now, another thing that I wanted to bring up this morning before and we'll go further into this morning at 8 o'clock on the show, but I'm not sure if everyone is aware of this. This was posted last night, and I think I've got the right picture. This is pretty close. It looked something like this, but in Meridian yesterday, the Salvation Army truck, which goes out when there's a disaster, to help people where they deliver the food and help everybody, was stolen in Meridian. And this is the picture that I think that is very close to. If you see this truck floating around, call the Meridian Police Department, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. Pretty big deal. This could affect so many if we were to have a disaster. They show up not only during tornadoes, they show up if there's a house fire to help people who've lost everything. Truck, very important. But we got the reports of that probably 7, 8 o'clock last night when I started seeing that the truck had been stolen. And I haven't gotten an official report as of daylight this morning if anything has happened. So to my knowledge, this truck is still missing. So they need it back. Very vital to the Salvation Army. If you happen to see that anywhere today, report that. It sticks out like a sore thumb. That's pretty low on the totem pole when you're a thief and you take something like that. And I think most people would agree with that. For something that helps so many people in their time of need to take that's awful. So we're hoping those responsible for that will be caught and will have to pay for what they've done. That's what we're looking at. So as we get more details on that, hopefully I'll have an update on that by 8 a.m. to give more details on that, and we'll pass that along. But that happened late yesterday afternoon as we get this morning rolling. It's already 6:47. We're heading up on 7 o'clock this morning. Be careful as you head out. As I said, leave a little bit extra. Always treat each day as if it's your last. Put a smile on. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll see you back. And again, don't forget to join us at 8 a.m. as Candace comes in. We'll discuss things that are going on here locally in Meridian. If you're watching right now, whether you're on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, make sure that little bell that's up there to click that to follow, and it notifies you when we go live. Now, let me explain this as I do this. My mother-in-law even asked me this yesterday. She goes, why is there a black screen for so long when you start the 8 o'clock show? And that is to get the signal right for the TV station. They join us at 8 a.m. on the dot. And always, if there's a problem with the signal, I have to give them enough time to work on it. So we go live for 5 minutes before we start the show at 8 a.m. just to work out any technical difficulties, if that makes sense. But as I said, I talked with my mother-in-law about that. And it is confusing to sit there and look at a black screen and go, what is he doing? Well, that's why. We're just testing the signal to make sure that we'll be on television as well as we are on all the social networks. So that's what happens every morning during the 8 o'clock stand. I only do 2 minutes normally at the 6 o'clock, and then we'll do 5 to start the show to make sure that all of our bells and whistles are working so we can be carried, if that makes sense. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a special guest at 8 o'clock. Our police chief will be joining us from Meridian, Chris Reed. He'll come in. We'll talk about Memorial Day weekend and all that's going on in Meridian. That's coming up tomorrow. Join me in just a little over an hour from now, hour and 10 minutes. We'll be back live to bring you all the things that are going on in the Meridian area and across the nation. And again, thank you for coming by and visiting with me just a little bit. Thank you to Harvey Cleveland for watching. Appreciate that, my brother. Starla McNair is watching this morning also. Let's see. Jimmy Robinson. Scotty, I put a few gray hairs in your mom's head. She was one of my teachers at Linville. Yes, she was. I think my mom taught she taught a lot of people. If you went to Northeast, you went to Linville, you probably had my mother for English. She taught a lot of folks. Gail Williams said there was lots of rain yesterday in Scuba, over an inch. It did come down. Miss Gail Gafford watching along with her husband Ray up in the big city of Porterville, Mississippi. I saw those showers, and it was. So we did need a little bit there for the gardens, but it did come down. So thank y'all for joining me. I'll be back here in just a little bit. I'm going to get the show together now and make sure we've got all the most current things that are going on across our nation to bring you here in just a little bit. Again, thank you for dropping by, and a big thank you to all the sponsors that you see up in the corner of the screen. Spend a little money with those local folks. When you do spend your money, they would appreciate it, and, well, I would too. Thanks a lot. We'll be back here in just a little bit to bring you a live show here from the Meridian area here with Scotty Ray's Weather. Thanks for dropping by.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by